Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a simple sorting activity that you can do at home because it's something that all of you probably have at least a small jar container in your house of the item that we're going to be sorting, and that is money or change. So I have this bowl that is divided into that we're going to divide into 3 separate bowls. So I took out the quarters for this, but you can also have a quarter bowl. It's just that I thought it would be easier to do it with 3, which you can choose to do as well. So you might have you might want to start this with 2, like just pennies and nickels, and then move on to pennies, nickels, and dimes, and then move on to pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. So money is something that you can do all sorts of games with, and we're going to continue to do games with change because there's quantity involved, and you can do so much with it. Using a penny as a simple unit for doing a lot of our counting activities is good because it's a unit of 1, and a lot of people have like a penny jar, so using pennies is a good idea. But for this one, it's a little bit different. So in most of our sorting activities, I try to have uniform amounts to put into the container. So I'll have like 5, 5, and 5. But if you're doing your change jar, you might have a lot more pennies or a lot more nickels or a lot more dimes. So really what you want to do is you're just going to want to have this be something like a sorting activity that's a little bit more casual than some of our other work. And you can do it in small handfuls and have it be something like I talked about how repetition is important, just doing little bits at a time, because you don't want them to be overwhelmed. You don't want to give them your giant tub of change that you've been collecting since college, but just to do little bits at a time. So here I figured this is, enough for our first time doing this. And then we have the small bowls. You can use anything that you'd like. I thought these would look familiar to the children. Does anybody know where these are from? Let's think. They're the color mixing bowls. So we're just going to use those just for now, because a little special treats that I took from color mixing. So we're going to take these out one at a time and sort them. So we have the first one. We're going to talk about them. So this is called a penny. It's a penny. We're going to talk about how it's copper. It's a penny's copper color. And that is a penny. Penny. Choose a bowl to be your penny bowl. That's going to be where we put our pennies. Oh, this one is big. It's the biggest one that we have. It's a nickel. That's our big one that we have. I'll put that one right there. And our last one, oh, smaller than the penny and the nickel. It looks like it has a torch on the back. They all have a head of somebody on them. This one has a torch though on the back. That's a dime. It's called a dime. A dime. And this is when you can decide how much you want to talk about money with your child. So sometimes you might want to say that a penny is worth 1 and a nickel is worth 5 and a dime is worth 10. But other children, that'll be a little much for right now, especially because the dime is the smallest and it's worth the most. So basically what you want to do is just put them in the containers like this. I would call them by their names to start. I would call them by their names and then use it as a visual discrimination game to start. It's visual discrimination work that you're looking at the size and the color. And then from there, moving on to having it be about quantity or something else that you choose. But just start very basic, because you don't want them to start, if they know that 10 is more than 1, but then it's not as big, you might be going a little bit over their heads, depending on their age right now. So really work with them. So we're going to just divide some of these up and we're going to kind of hold them up. Nickel. It's a nickel. We chose this one to be the nickel. Might be a little hard to see. I'm going to do it like this. Yeah, this will work. Dimes. Nickels, and pennies. Okay, I'll put my dime, nickel, penny, penny. Ooh. This one has oxidation on it. That means it's turning green. See that? Still a penny. Penny. Nickel. Nickel. You might have to look at both sides. One has a building and one has a head. That's, sometimes they call the side with the building tails. So if you ever hear flip a coin, heads or tails, the head is the head, the man's head, and the tail is the building, or in the case of the dime, the torch. And some money has different things, like this one is a penny. It's a shiny penny. And look, this one has a crest on the back. Money is very interesting because each one is stamped with a year too. So this is what I mean. You can talk about money so much because there's so much to learn. So, oh, here's another penny that has that same seal on the back. And this one is from 2012. 2012. You might find a penny that's from the year you were born. Here's another penny that's from 1984. And that means that penny has been around for a long time. Here's another penny from 1970. This penny is older than me. That's an old penny. It's been around a long time. Here's that man's head again. That's a dime though. See the dime? The dime. Nickel. I've been doing a lot of writing today and my hands are very full of marker. So if you see marker on my hands, that's because that's another nickel. Also been washing my hands a lot. Penny. Oh, this is a nickel, but look at this one has, I don't know if you can even see that, it has a buffalo on it. Buffalo nickel. It's very exciting. Another nickel. Now, if it's hard to keep up with me, you're gonna do it at the pace that you want. Another penny. Another nickel. Another nickel, dime, another dime, another dime. See, because now I'm looking in there. I can't help it. I'm going to be looking in there. I'm going to be looking for a kind that I want to look for. Like penny, I'm going to go, I'm going to see if there's another penny. There it is, another penny. You can't help it. You just do. Oh, are there any nickels left? Oh, there's one more nickel. And then penny, 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 dime, another dime, and one more dime. Okay, so this is how you would sort the money. So there are many things, like I said, you can do with money. So you might want to then count to see how many you have in each. So how many dimes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 dimes. That rhymes. Rhymes, 9 dimes. Rhymes. So we're going to take the 9 dimes, put them back in. If you want, you can count them. You don't have to count them. Let's see how many nickels we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 nickels and we had 9 dimes. Which do we have more of? Do we have more dimes or do we have more nickels? More dimes or more nickels? We have more nickels. We have more nickels. There's more nickels because this 13 is larger than 9. 13. Do you want to guess how many pennies we have? Let's guess. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is how many nickels we had. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Do we have more pennies than we do nickels? Yes, we do. 18 is more than 13. Do we have more pennies than we do dimes? Yes, because 18 is more than 9. In fact, it's twice as many. So that is another thing that you can do with the money. But again, this was a lot. There were a lot of coins in here, and it doesn't look like a lot. So it's really good if you divide it up and you don't do too much money at once. You just do maybe a handful at a time. Do it. And then you can go to another handful. And maybe you can make then, like, get jars in your house and then just have a jar of nickels and a jar of quarters and a jar of dimes and a jar of pennies. And then count those. And then once you teach, what the quantity is, teach, how to make stacks of dimes and stacks of nickels and stacks of quarters. Because really, teaching about money, it's intuitive. We've all done it. We've all made, stacks of money and counted money. So just taking this and doing it to what your child's interest is and what your child's ability is, you can have plenty of games to play with money. And again, they make wonderful units for doing just about everything that we do. And then learning how to count by 5s and count by 10s later on is a lot of fun too. So I hope you enjoyed counting with money. See you again soon. Bye-bye.